Welcome to Your Story video series, brought to you today by the Public Speakers Association. I'm so excited to introduce to you our amazing guest star, Miss Linda Pringle Evans, who's a brand extraordinaire who changes people's lives by letting them stand out. She's also an international speaker. She's got a brand new book coming out any day now. Miss Linda Pringle Evans.
Thank you, Tanya, for that wonderful and amazing introduction. I can remember when I truly believed in myself, before the world began to impress me about what I should become. And I'm going to share my story, my lessons of how I became the person who embraced myself. And that's why I want to speak to everyone about embracing your DNA. You were designed and created on purpose for a purpose. And that's what I had to learn from myself later on in life. Not feeling that I must make everybody happy, that everybody must be pleased, trying to fit in. It just didn't work. I was trying to please my family, please my friends, do everything that I felt needed to acquire promotions when I worked in corporate America. And I found myself being very, very sad. Sad because I felt I was not being my authentic self. So what I did, I took an analysis. I took time to evaluate who I supposed to be, who I am, and not allow everything around me to dictate who I should be. So what I did, I created my own self-evaluation little system, and it helped me to determine some very key factors regarding my own life. And what I saw was that the things that were making me unhappy, one was my ex-husband, because I was allowing him to really impact the way I felt my self-worth was valued. He would occasionally make me feel less than by saying some things that were not true about me. So as I was taking the analysis of looking inside who Linda is, I discovered some very important lessons. And those are the lessons that today I still implement in my life, and I have found complete fulfillment in these lessons. So I do want to share some of the lessons with you. One of the things that I would like to share is this: never allow anybody to determine your self-worth. We are all created to shine in this world, because that's who we are. We were created on purpose for a purpose. I don't care how you came about being in existence in this world. You are here today for this time, for this season. And one of the most important key lessons I learned was, number one, learn to accept me, to love me for who I am, for the way that I look, for my size, for the way I speak, for the way I dress, my personality, everything that involved me, the way I was created, to accept that. And I had to learn how to come in agreement with accepting who I am. A lot of times we look at others and we feel that we must emulate someone else, but we shouldn't. It's okay to admire someone, to compliment others, but to try to walk in their footsteps and be exactly like them, that is not the life that we have been created for. Every being has a purpose in life, and learning to identify what that purpose is and fulfilling it, it helps you to live beyond measures that you can't even imagine. That was one of my biggest lessons, was learning to accept, acknowledge, and also to love me. And then the second lesson that I had to learn, and this really impacted me growing up in Georgia during an era, during the segregation era. And you know, for yourself as well as myself, I grew up in an era where there were atrocities that were taking place, such a division among races at that time. But I learned a very valuable lesson from my grandparents. My grandparents taught me, you're not different. And that was a time when people really were saying different people were different from others. And they really taught that, that was put inside of me, and it stayed with me all of my life, that we're not different. We are all the same. We may be different in personalities, in abilities, in gifts, talents. Yes, we are different in that capacity. But when we look at the wholeness of people, we are the same. So that really impacted how I saw the value of other people, because as you embrace your DNA, you are also accepting the value of someone else, because we're not in this world just for self-gratification. We are servants in a capacity, giving and helping others to achieve the success that they would love to accomplish. So it's not about self, but it's about treating others the way you would wish to be treated. And that lesson today is still part of my core value system. And I want to ask you, think about your core value system. As you are achieving your own success, are you helping someone else to achieve their success? And then finally, I'm a woman of faith. So I always believe, and I will probably die believing this, that the universe, and for me, the universe I call God, and I'm sure some may refer differently, but I'm saying this not to offend anyone, but I believe God has created everybody for a specific reason on this planet. And I think when you can take the time to connect with the higher power of yours, when you take the time to connect with that higher power and to listen and to form a strong relationship with that higher power, and to ask, why am I here? What is my purpose for being here at this particular time? Help me to understand who I am. And believe me, it will happen. You will begin to know exactly who you are. You will appreciate who you are. You will love yourself, and you will come in agreement with, this is who I am. This is what I am supposed to do. And I am going to fulfill my destiny. I think those are very keys for life, to have a successful life, because I know for myself, I wanted to have a successful life other than having success in business. It was great to have accomplishments in business, but you want to feel successful in your personal life as well as your professional life. So that's why I feel embracing your DNA is so important today more than ever. For me, I felt once I owned Linda, it became transparent where I was going. It wasn't an easy road because like I stated, ex-husband, so I had to go through a horrific divorce. But I made it through it, got through the divorce, and I had to start my life all over again. I had a new job. I had a new life. Even at one point, I had to move in with my mother because of the divorce, how things had really impacted my life financially, mentally, and physically. Every area of my life was impacted because of the divorce, but I didn't give up. And that's something else. When you know who you are, no matter what you go through, you will have the stamina, the tenacity to endure. So I say to you, to everyone who is listening and viewing this, you are a masterpiece. You're one of a kind. Never apologize for who you are. I found myself at one time apologizing to my ex-husband constantly about, oh, I didn't do this good enough for you. Oh, I didn't wear this, I'm sorry. Or I didn't look the way you wanted me to look. Or I didn't fix the meal the way you wanted me to prepare it. It was a constant making excuses, apologizing, until I discovered I am to be who I am. And if someone can't accept me for who I am, then they shouldn't be a part of my environment. And there's something else. When you embrace your DNA, be prepared, because there will be people who will no longer be a part of your life. And that's okay, because where you're going, everybody can't go with you. So just know this: your journey, your future, your life is in your hands. And however you determine you want it to be, it can become just that. I promise you. So I want to thank Tanya for this opportunity to share my story of how I became able to embrace my DNA. And I'm hoping that you will embrace your DNA as well. If I can be of any assistance to help you on your journey to embracing your DNA, because as you embrace who you are, guess what? You are branding who you are. So if you would like to have a complimentary session with me, don't hesitate to reach out. Email me at linda@lindapringleevans.com. Again, the email address, linda@lindapringleevans.com. I would be more than pleased to assist you on your journey to embracing your DNA and being branded to stand out with distinction. Until next time,